Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 here in the northwest section of the map, ending with Team 2 in the southeast. I'm going to slow it down just a smidgen, just so that we don't miss any of that early action. Let's go ahead and introduce Team 1, starting off with the southernmost player of Team 1. It is Themo29 going first land as a Seraphim. He is in Forest Green, and he is a 1000 rated player. To his northeast in Chevy Crimson, we have Beraji Savo Pokan. I think that's how you say that. Going first land as a UEF. He is a 1400 in Chevy Crimson. Probably will shorten his name to BSP, just so that I don't make myself a fool with trying to say his name. Maybe I'll say Beraji for short. Maybe I'll do that. To his east in orange, the color orange, it is the Cybran player of Corbin, not to be confused with the planet Korban from the Star Wars universe. He's going first land, most likely second air with that Pigeon configuration, and he is a 1300. To the north in emerald green for Team 1, it is Luker going first land as another Cybran for his team, and he is the highest rated player in the game and on Team 1 at a 2100. And last but not least, here in the rear for Team 1, the Aeon player of Kabanoff going first land, second air most likely. He is in light oak tan, and he is a 1700. So for Team 1 side of things, they have all of the races represented with a double major in Cybran faction. So again, 2 Cybran, 1 UEF, 1 Aeon, and 1 Seraphim. Let's take a look down south here for Team 2. Starting off with the rearguard airside player of Team 2, it is Solid Snake going first land, second air as a UEF. He is in Batman Gray, and he is a 1600. Maybe he'll put himself in a cardboard box with a pretty lady on the front to distract some people. We have in the north of him Mechs Clicker going first land, second air as well in lightish red pink. He is a Seraphim, and he is a 1700. To his west in Pac-Man Yellow, I think he's on the move. No, he's building a facility first. He's going first, second, third, fourth land. It is Manfet, and again, he is a Cybran at a 1400 rating. And to the southwest, we have the Stitch Blue player of Low Key. He's very low key. Going first land, second land, third air, and fourth land as well. He is a 1400, and again, he is in Stitch Blue as a UEF. And last but not least, in Royal Blue, we have Kavaga. That's how you say that. Going first land, second air, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh land. He is a Seraphim, participating in the Seraphim faction, and he is also a 1400. Lots of 1400s here this game. 4 players in the game at a 1400 rating. Let's go ahead and take a look at the faction makeup for Team 2. We have 2 Seraphim, 2 UEF, 1 Cybran, no Aeon technology for Team 2. Will that bite them in the butt? We'll just have to see as time goes on. Let's take a look at Reclaim before everything gets hot and heavy here during this game. We have 13,500. So probably was about 1,400. Makes the math a little bit easier. About 1.4k mass per player if it was distributed evenly. So not a terrible amount, but also enough to get a couple of mechs upgrades out and ready to go. Here we have in the north here for Team 2 is a Mechs Clicker, dropping a couple of NGs off for a naval facility construction. We'll actually turn it back to 0 as well. The first death of the game was a Snoop. It was a intel. No, it was a mole. It is for Corbin. He has the first kill of the game. It does look like Team 1 going straight for the middle of the map, and we didn't even talk about mechs. In terms of mechs layout, not really a whole lot. We have a completely non-vital northeastern structure. Maybe there'll be a just land factory up there just to pump out some engineers or something. But there's a couple of mechs on that little peninsula looking thing. Don't know that. Anyway, there's a lot of mechs here, of course, on the edges of Team 1 and Team 2's perimeter. But really, I'd say about these 4 mechs are going to be fought over and maybe the ones in the middle will be fought over, but that's really about it. Everything else is strictly, and with these two, of course, strictly on either Team 1 or Team 2 side of things. Not really a lot of contesting going on, and I see that a lot for map generator maps, is that there's a lot of mixes that are just the other, like the teams. It's either it's 1 or 2, that's it. There's no fighting over mexes. There's no trying to control mexes, anything sort of that. It's just you get yours, I get mine, and we're just going to go from there. It does look like there is a squad of T1 tanks here in the form of Mantis moving. Okay, they're not tanks, they're technically assault pods. And they're going for this T1 mechs here. It is paused and upgrade. Corbin trying to get those mexes already, stabilized and whatnot. A couple of Mantis are nearby, but that T1 mechs does get taken out, unfortunately, here for Corbin. And again, it's a T1 mechs. It's 5 minutes. Not a huge issue if you lose one of those early on. Just have to reclaim it and build another one. It does look like, due to the aggressive manner that Mechs Clicker is pumping out those naval facilities, that he has a nice advantage. He also has a bomber en route, probably going after this position in the north. I don't know if he notices it or not. He does. He has seen it before. So he's bringing that bomber in to assist. The facility has been completed. A couple of engineers are on station or nearby. Looks like this one is the main target for that bomber. It is inbound, and that Mex is taken out. No, sorry, not Mex. That engineer is taken out. That T1 frigate will complete. A couple of these engineers will die off, unfortunately, but it'll essentially be a murder-suicide situation going on in the north. Would expect to see a couple of interceptors called to deal with that, but nothing too vital. As long as the T1 frigate is either stopped or destroyed, that facility will actually go down in smoke. Team 1's Luca will get nothing out of that, unfortunately, here for him. Team 2's Solid Snake has pushed up to the eastern side to help assist with the defense and offense maneuvers in that side of the map. But Team 2's Loki has actually pushed a little bit further past the middle, but not really gunning for Team 1's front line. In the middle, essentially, where most of the action has already been happening, Manfit going after Corbin's forces. Corbin is on that upgrade, about ready to complete. They'll give him a slight advantage, of course, against his Cybran enemy here in the middle. Be able to pump out a lot more plasma. We have an attack coming out from Luca's forces. There is a Team 1 PD online with the column of Solid Snake nearby. Those forces are immediately destroyed. Stealth immediately started after that upgrade. Probably due to the fact he wants to stay out of radar range, or radar detection, not range, and be able to just kind of hide, as Cybrans like to do with their cloaking, of course. We have Loki very far forward away from his forces. There are nearby forces nearby for both himself and a teammate. We do have a comm of Berigi, and we do have, of course, Themo to the west. These two could combine and go straight after that comm. Even the comm is going north for a couple of those rocks, or actually frozen chunks of mass or glacier or whatever the heck you guys want to call those. But it does look like a small contingent of forces do kind of edge out this main force here. And there's really nothing back here. Looks like there was a Team 1 radar that was taken out. Unfortunately here for Team 1 as well. These due to the, the PGen configuration. Lots of guns and stuff going down in the middle here, both for Team 2. We have, of course, the Cybran player of Manfet and the UEA player of Loki. So they're able to get that gun upgrades nice and forward, trying to be more aggressive with their commander. I think that gun upgrade just finished off, so we have Corbin moving forward with his forces. Of course, it is Cybran v Cybran, so again, same capabilities, same amount of... Oh, wow, brain. Same amount of hit points. There we go. Except Corbin does have a slight advantage with the 2,000 available. I think he gets that from the stealth upgrade. It gets a little bump in hit points. But, 2,000 can make or break the game, to be fair. And those forces in the Navy on the northeastern side for Team 2 are holding strong. Team 1 is locked out, and Team 2 has also locked out the south. And is starting to lock out the west. Look at this. Look at all these forces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mexes have been killed off. There are reinforcements trying to do what they can to snake after those things. But that was a huge move by Kavga. Great micro, great attention to detail there from him. Being able to use a little bit of distraction to be able to get what he wants. and take out some early mechs here. And that has amounted to Team 2 winning the mechs generation contest so far at 280 versus 260. The number keeps flip-flopping back and forth due to, powered, losses and whatnot. But both of these comms in the middle getting nice veterancy. We do, of course, have Corbin getting a better end of the deal there with 1,500 versus 1,100. Manfet slowly dropping below 50%. We do have Corbin a little above 50%, but that number will change, of course, all the time. A huge amount of forces coming out from low-key facilities going after Baraji. And don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right. He needs to get out of there. T2 PD are being eradicated by T1 strikers here. He needs to get out of dodge. He does have T2 on that commander, has a couple more hit points, but the gun upgrade does solidify a nice amount of DPS here for Loki. And maybe he'll be a god of tricksters or a very stealthy commander. There's that other dad joke in there. We do have the comm of Kabanoff going after just a couple of those units in the north. T1 Mexes, T2 Mexes, bombers just constantly being annihilated on that western side against Themo. Themo is just feeling it today. I do feel bad, but we do have some sort of momentum here on the eastern side. Luca has pushed all the way past the 50% line and has been able to go after all 4 of these Mexes. We do, of course, have Mex Clicker nearby, but Luca does have the gun upgrade. Mex Clicker does not, and he needs to get out of dodge sooner than later or he will be killed off. And these units have now diverted from the forward momentum and started going westward, trying to isolate the comm of Themo. We are at 10, almost 11 minutes in this game. And I feel like Themo might not be long for this world. He needs to get his comm in there. He needs to assist his forces. He needs that veterancy. He needs that, taking out those units. Of course, we also have Kavga behind him with that gun upgrade. He's going to isolate himself on this upper plateau area. You can't just jump off the cliff, which is, I feel, I sometimes want to do that in certain scenarios. Like, I could just jump off this cliff, get out of dodge, be fine, but you can't do that in this game. He needs to go this way. DG's out from Manfet. Manfet is killed off by Corbin as I'm focused on the comm of Themo. So that is a departure. Kind of was starting to favor a little bit of Corbin, a little bit, but it was still back and forth. I had to play against 2, says Manfet. I mean, maybe with Luca over there, but not really. We do see Mex Clicker inheriting everything on the eastern side. That's definitely fitting for him because he's already on that side of the map. Loki still being pushed and being pushed back here for his team. Kavgup just going forth with just his commander. A couple of bombers are in tow. I'm assuming target the comm directly. The comm does move to try to get out of dodge. They'll take some hit point damages from these T1 bombers. Where's the ASF? Where are the AA Where's the everything? Themo trying to get out of the way. He's on a patrol route. Oh no, that's something else. I was like, that is not what I thought he would do. But he is he's in the red, just dropped below the yellow. He needs to get out of dodge. Assisting forces have come to assist his retreat, and he gets out of dodge just barely there. But good to see that his teammates are nearby to help assist. But Team 1 is, they are, ahead in terms of comms left standing, but in terms of, map control, not really looking good. All of Luca's forces have retreated and are maybe going to do a hook maneuver down the middle, which is very interesting. He hasn't made any attempt to go after anything in the water, which, to be fair, why would you? There are a couple of mexes that Mex Clicker could easily go after these 2 up here and just get a nice 4 mass per second free because of that, but he's probably distracted on other things. It does look like Team 1's forces of Luca and Corbin are going to push the middle of the map where Team 2 is slightly weaker. Both comms are on the eastern side, so Luca goes, it's not really worth pushing. I'll go through the middle. Of course, the 2 comms on the front for Team 2 are on the western side, or at least the Midwest, essentially. And we have a nice little fire base up on this plateau. Unfortunately, there's a hill right there. That's for easy access. But a couple of PD, a couple of TMD. There's a missile launcher in there. Shield, great spot to hold up. Themo probably should establish T2 and go for some sort of shielding as well with assisting defenses. But incoming, says Manfet. They are idle, saying him as well, talking about facilities. So we'll have to see if he ends up using those or not. Forces going straight down the middle here for Team 1's Luker, trying to do what he can to keep, punching forward, trying to eliminate Mechs on the front line. Team 2 at 430 versus Team 1's 370. One comm has died for Team 2. Team 2 probably wants to get a kill in this. They were looking for Themo, but he got out of dodge just barely. T2 forces starting to replace the inferior T1s here at the almost 15-minute mark. Kafka going for T2 to establish a forward operating base here for his team. Team 2, is essentially locked off almost the entire southern side of the map. We have T2 cruisers. Very interesting play here by Kafka. Going to go for some AA and missile damage. We have a couple of these anti-air cannons that are not really doing anything. They're just distracting. Again, 4 more mechs is taken out. Draw a little trapezoid there. Not trap. Yeah, trapezoid. Wait. Not a pentagon. Yeah, it's trapezoid. No, geometry brains like the what? PD mentioning here for the eastern slot here for Mechs Clicker, but he is having a hard time of it trying to, curtail these incoming forces. There's a couple of PD that have been spammed up, and so these rhinos and other forces will be dealt with quite swiftly, but unfortunately, it has done a decent number on distracting Team 2's Mechs Clicker. We do have, of course, the air player of Solid Snake essentially isolated. Essentially. We also have the comm of Mechs Clicker right there. The comm of Corbin is pushing forward with all he has, hitting with some Riptides. They're not pillars, so less damage, of course, and less hit points, and they do have hover attack, so they're annoying that way. But against rhinos, you can see, even though they're outnumbered, the rhinos have so much hit points compared to these Riptides that it really doesn't even matter. The DPS could be argued it's not great for the rhinos considering how much hit points they have, but, it's better than Hoplites, essentially. Hoplites have terrible HP. PD's constantly being mentioned by Manfred, who is dead, playing the man in the chair for his team. T2 Cerberus are trying to be spammed up, but of course T2 Cerberus just tickle their opponents. They don't do a whole lot. T1 PD is a lot better in terms of DPS. Of course, the Cerberus lose some DPS for advanced range, essentially. T2 Mexes are the ones that are being targeted. Great move. The rhinos know they're not going to get a whole lot done. Trying to do some eco damage is better than no damage. And yep, there they go. They're all dead now. We have in the west, of course, those cruisers just being annoying against Team 1's Themo. You just can't seem to catch a break on that western side. There's some sort of push going out here from Baraji, but he has to deal with that upper plateau section. Has to deal with 2 comms. And so Team 1's best bet is to probably go for some either strat rushes or gunship rushes or something to take out one or both of these players. There are ASF in the area going after Swiftwinds, which Swiftwinds are the non-bomber versions of Nathas and Janus and whatnot for the other factions. So, Aeon Airtech doesn't have access to that sort of thing. They do have Mercies. They do have gunships. So, but I think every faction has T2 gunships. Cybrans have T1, and Aeon Seraphim do not have T3. There is, of course, varying rosters of units here. Using some flak to take out these Voltus. Very good move here from Corbin, trying to lock out air, at least in the middle, against those gunships themselves. A decent force has been pushed here to the west here by Loki, having some Riptides with shields. The shields do not have float tech, so they just have wheels. So they have to traverse on land. There is a pillar in the... that's a striker, not a pillar. Excuse me. A couple of strikers in the mix just for some cannon fodder. But Themo is still suffering 21 mass, 17 mass a second. Team 1 still struggling to catch up to Team 2. The gap is slowly, shortening, closing in. But they're still having a hard time dealing with it, of course. We have Loyalist T3 land technology online for Corbin against Bricks, though. Would not want to make that bet here. I am sorry. Stuff happens, says Bergy. Don't know what that... Oh, talking about the fact that there's just this run-by going on here. And he's really struggling. He has Team 2 land tech online. I feel like I'd be playing like Themo in this game. I'm so underskilled compared to everyone that I've casted. We do have, of course, Riptides going after Pillars. Pillars have a lot of DPS and a lot of hit points, so it does take a while to chew through all those hit points, but if the Pillars are severely weakened, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. But I was going to say, we should see some ships come on station here. The Spectres, not as great, of course, as their Restore compatriots, their cousins, but at least something's better than nothing. T1 PD being spammed up here. They're going after those T2 Mechs, which again, T1 PD is better than nothing. Bombers coming in to assist as well. Team 1, this is a combined effort from multiple players trying to eliminate this, run by, which is, done a decent job, but it's starting to be less and less efficient. There is a run through from the middle here going after all those engineers, but Team 2 has essentially grabbed the 50% line across the center of the map. So, they have a lot more map control than their opponents, but the thing is if you get cocky with it, like, oh, we have all this map control, we don't have to worry about it. Team 1 will bunker down, they build a lot of shields, build a lot of defenses, and then that's just the hill that you die on. But in the middle, we have some Percy's versus a Com and a brick, but Corbin takes a lot of shots to the chest with that. The brick trying to be used as, essentially the bullet sponge, but it dies off, the shield dies off. Overcharges into that Percy. Don't do a heck of a lot of damage, but something's better than nothing. Reinforcing bricks come in from Megaliths. It is the 20-minute mark in this game. Please like and comment down below. Who do you think is going to currently win? Team 2 is in the driver's seat. They have the mass income. They have the, I wouldn't say air advantage, but they have a lot of gunships and a lot of, just annoying tactics here for at least this western side. Corbin is going to suffer a lot of hit point losses in the middle. But again, let me know in the comments below who do you think is going to currently win. Because it can switch one way or the other. I mean, you have a 50-50 shot, essentially. So, take your pick, I guess. We have Corbin trying to stay active. He's does he have nano? He does have nano, so 102 hit points a second. We have more bricks coming in tow here for him in the middle. Team 1 still hasn't made any attempt to go into either navies, and who can blame them? They're completely locked out. Huge advantage here. The water hasn't played a huge part, except for this western side, but it's been very annoying for Team 1. Of course, there is that was a Lobo? No, it's a Zooey. He's Seraph as well. Zooey trying to go after those cruisers, but Themo, his main base, is seeing a lot better days. T2 Volthus on station, not going after the comm directly, wanting to eliminate his entire eco, his entire infrastructure, everything, which is the better play. They don't want to give a bunch of eco to somebody else, especially Luker, because he is the 2100. He can do a lot with an extra, 50, 60, 70 mass per second. And I feel like there's maybe a nuke maybe going to be started at some point. There is a Milky Lord being built here by Luker. Air grid looking nice and plump here. ARAS coming online here for Kabinov, trying to increase those resourcing options for himself. Ras coming online here for Megaliths as well. Multiple air grids, small air grid, bigger air grid here for the air players in the rear. And T3 might be started at some point, but at least it's T2 for now, probably just producing just those gunships. Lots of gunships by multiple players. Want to do a nice, mid-game harass here. So our, southern players very much, again, push, aggressive, which works if you are constantly taking territory. If you're being, throw a bunch of mass at somebody and then they hold that territory, they gain all that mass, they gain all that, they don't lose anything, they just gain stuff. But just a couple of missiles trying to inbound for those TMD, not really going to do a whole lot. Team 2's, pseudo-naval player of Kavga needs to pump at least a couple more cruisers. There is one on station. Kavga is producing missile launchers. That's going to annoy Themo in the west. Do they just have something against Themo here? Because he's really struggling. I feel bad for him. But we have more Percy's going after that comm. This middle position here for Corbin has been destroyed. He still holds the territory, of course. Engine is already on station, scooping up most of those brick and Percy wrecks. Scout streamed that stealth ACU with T1 scouts before attacking, something in Russian. And that's to all, too, so I don't know exactly what that says. Somebody mentioned a auto translation mod or interface or something for the chat, at least for casters. You can see what they say. That I thought that was an amazing idea. I was like, I would love to be able to see what they say because I don't read Russian. I don't know how to speak Russian. It'd be great to be like, yeah, you have a universal translator essentially. Maybe that could be an AI tool or something. That'd be great. We already have AI in the game in form of, AI enemies. Might as well have an AI translator. We have, overcharges going into those bricks. Get a nice, double damage onto those 2 bricks there. Gonna net positive here for Corbin, but Team 1 still struggling. Team 2's Mechs Clicker at 474 mass per second. He is on 2 bases, to be fair. So if we look at Solid Snake, he's on 350 versus, let's see, Kamenov and Luker at a little bit over 300, depending on the current situation. I think Luker has, no, he has power, so he's not struggling with that issue. How's Kamenov doing? He has a lot of power. Oh, he's the airplane. He has a lot of power. Of course, in the west, we have mobile T3 artillery. We have missiles. We have missile launchers. Themo is just suffering here. Building up defenses, building up artillery, trying to keep himself alive. Essentially, the entire focus on this western side is Themo. So at least he's distracting at least one of the players on the other team. So love to see that he's still in this game. He hasn't quit yet. We have some bouncers on station to deal with some gunships nearby. Of course, those bricks are targeting the AA personally. There is a monkey in the middle, so Team 1 has something to punch through. Honestly, it's really nothing to go after in the middle. They need to get further in deep. I mean, at this point, just go after this eastern forward operating base. We have a nice wall section here on the water with a couple of avenues for engineers to come slip on by. Again, still no effort to go into the Navy, but I do like this one radar system online just to have a nice little readout on this eastern side just in case something flies by. They can see it. Love that. I love that positioning. Doesn't cost a lot of mass. Doesn't cost a lot of energy. Just one thing. That's it. Boom, done. Of course, we'll see that monkey charge forth, and I do apologize for those that it's hard to sometimes read the names and the text and whatnot on the white environments, and I've had some complaints about that. There's nothing I can do about that. I wish I could modify the background so it's not semi-translucent, which is a solid black, but there's only so much I can do, of course, and I do appreciate the patience with that sort of thing. That's why I try to comment at least a little bit more about it, especially on these snow maps. Of course, we have another by an Autumn. Team 1 really needs to plug this hole, and I think there's going to be more and more of an effort to push all the way westward. Another Mechs is taken out here by Team 2's Kavga. There's a Spectre on station. Spectre? Yeah, Spectre. A couple of Titans. I think the Titans will be able to deal with this quite nicely. There they go. He is down. Oh, but friendly fire takes out a Titan. That's got to hurt. That monkey is in the yellow, but it's still alive. It's barely in the yellow. It's like hovering the line between yellow and green. There comes that T3 Mechs. Get a nice source of entry. T1 bombers are coming online. There's some AA nearby. They're only going to get one pass to take out that monkey lord, or at least do some damage. It's going to go north, which is kind of what I thought would happen. Essentially, they want some sort of break in their defenses. We even have a preamble to the main attack. From the monkey lord from these bricks to the north from Corbin. Oh, those ASF died to a monkey lord. His main telemaser. Oh, it's gotta hurt. Reclaim, says Manfat. Wanting to come in and scoop that all up before the enemy can come in and deal with that. One brick versus 2 Percys. Percys will win that fight. ASF fight over the top of AA here for Team 1. Does go the way of Team 2, but they did take some severe losses, though. And they have cleared this northern approach here, so maybe they'll go all the way to the east. There's a couple of dual ring T3 Mexes, but there is a chicken coming online and moving in to intercept that monkey lord. And that monkey lord either needs to get in the water or run. And unfortunately, these couple of engineers will die. The monkey lord is the primary target, of course. A lot of AA. There's a couple of targets that can fire on the ground, of course. But the monkey lord needs to keep moving. If they take out the T2 mass fabs, they take out most of the hit points. There it goes. And it does look like that monkey lord will die. Gets a rank in veterancy very quickly and then dies. That's gotta hurt. But the chicken, I think, will not be able to survive this with the additional bricks that have come to assist the monkey lord. And they did kill off that Team 3 Mechs as well. There goes the chicken. There it goes. I was like, is he going to die? But he has been defeated. So if Team 1 can get this, they would love to have it. There's some mass there, of course. Take a look at how much. About 20,000, half of it being Team 1's, half of it being Team 2's. So it's going to be a net positive for either team. There is a Fat Boy in the middle here for Team 2's Loki. And again, that base in the north. We do have some assistance coming out from Luker as well, helping to, I don't know if I noticed that earlier, helping to solidify that western front. And it does look like more engineers starting to move in that direction. Scout for Fatty says back, says Manfred as well. Being the nice man in the chair that he is. We have Bricks versus Percy's. Honestly, Percy's, if they're in range, win that fight, but especially with the Fat Boy support. A couple of not the fighter bombers can come in and deal with that right quick, or some Janus or some Corsairs or something, or Mercies. I haven't seen Mercies in a long time. They're more AoE now instead of single fire, which is probably why I don't like people use them anymore. What was it? It's been a couple months since I've seen Percy's being used. We have ASF fight to the east. Team 1 has the numbers. They engage knowing that they have the numbers, or mostly knowing that they have the numbers, but they're not really doing those massive turns here. It's just kind of widespread, whatever can kill whatever, essentially. And essentially, it might be a net 0 for both. Team 1 does come out a little bit ahead, but not by much. So not even air control or air dominance, essentially just a tie. Another chicken for the east here for Mex Cooker. And another one. He is pumping those things out as fast as he can. Getting up some mass fabs to help assist with eco. Of course, we have 1.1. Wow. Team 1 has accelerated. They're at 1.4k mass per second versus Team 2's 1.1, 1.2. Are they having any power issues? Not really. Ah, that's why. It's severely negative on power. That would explain why Loki isn't producing as much mass. That would make sense when you are really negative on energy. Your mass production goes down, and we already have at 30 minutes a scaff that's coming over the top here for the UEA player of Loki. The Calm of Kamenov is by himself. Will he go after the Calm directly? Waiting for that energy to recharge. And there he goes. He's going after the T3 P-Gen, owned by Luker for some reason. It's by Themo, not by Luker. The shield will come online just in time to protect that. Pings go down saying, hey, there's a thing down here. Take Mex Clicker's mass. He can't spend it, says Manfit. Well, yeah, because he doesn't have energy. But there is a nuke down south here. Has just been built by the air player of Solid Snake. Being a little sneaky with his cardboard box. Of course, more cruisers in the water. Haven't still been able to puncture this position. And this position is held pretty strong. Artillery raining in over here, taking out a couple of mobile T2 missile launchers. These Ythesa. That's how you say that. But Team 1 should have, SMDs online. Themo does not, so that's going to hurt. And it doesn't look like Team 1 notices the nuke. They will after it launches. Actually, that is Team 2, not Team 1. They know that it's an item, or a structure, they just don't know what it is. They need to get some scouting overhead. Very important to get scouting at least every minute, if not every couple of minutes, to stay on track of what your opponents are doing. Of course, we have some Othens moving through the middle channel. This base has been pretty strong. Hasn't been able to be punctured yet, but this chicken could easily come in and wipe this position out. There are a lot of Percys to the west, though. And so if they can intercept that chicken, I think this is enough. The player of Corbin control Ks. Maybe, hold on, a connection issue. I'll go off screen so the screen doesn't shake. Something in chat says something to maybe apologies or something. No, it's okay, we got this. Don't know what it says, of course. I hate connection issues, they're always a pain. I was trying to play a match a couple days ago and got like 10 minutes in and it's like game froze, and then I go back to the main. It was a custom game. I go back to custom game, same match lobby, whatever. And they're like, yeah, everyone DC'd. I'm like, that sucks. But the Restore Ball is strong with Team 1 for Kamenov. That chicken is down. ASFs do go straight for those gunships, but of course they are known for their anti-air prowess. And those ASFs are going to die to that restore ball. And they don't care. They're not going to move. They go after any AA in the area, but that's it. There is a crab on station for Luker. It is now a 4v4 at 32 minutes. No one was killed on Team 1. It was just a connection issue. So I don't count that as a kill. For those of you that are new to the channel, for those of you who are not, you know that it's just, it's a departure of the game. It's not a kill. So, in the West, those cruisers are still holding strong, but Team 1 just ignoring all of those. Actually, a couple of the naval units have been killed off by T2 port bombers, so maybe Luker might make a play for the Navy once all of them are gone. Maybe. But another chicken come forth. Mexico just pumping those things out. Another one down here. Man, he will not stop producing those chickens. In terms of the chicken or the egg, he values the chicken more than he does the egg. And we have a brick being fired upon by a megalith in the middle. Team 1 has the middle for now. There is a fat boy, a chicken, and another chicken coming on station, so maybe there'll be a push for that crab. In the West, Team 1 has done a considerable job of pushing back. Themo is still alive in this game. He will not be silenced. Yenzine trying to do what they can to go after those cruisers. They take out at least one of them. That's a great grab, of course, because, you know, anything's better than nothing, and just getting rid of that AA in the West is great because it does open up an avenue of attack. There are some Nothos coming on station to deal with those Yenzine, but, you know, not really going to matter a whole lot. Those restorers are nearby. Maybe they'll entice those Nothos to come a knocking. Team 2's air are coming in to intercept and respond, but there's a strat snipe coming on station here. They're going straight after that comm of Mex Clicker. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit and select Luker and do this. Oh. Do this, and then this and this. You can watch the bombs drop here. Here they come. They are inbound. Oh, but they're going to hit. Ooh, are they going to hit the facility first? No, they hit the comm. One more. We'll do it. Kaboom. The comm of Mex Clicker has been eliminated by Team 1's Luker's Strap Bombers. Nice grab here by Team 1. And now they're going to go straight for that air grid. Take out anything and everything there. Take out some pieces. Doesn't kill any of them, unfortunately. Takes out a lot of facilities, though. ASF coming and deal with that. They will see the nuke, of course, so that'll be big for Team 2 to know about. Team 1 to know about that. Would have liked to grab those P-gens, unfortunately, but, you know. Getting a comm is very great. Of course, everything is handed off to Solid Snake, so he controls the entire eastern and southern side of Team 2's main facility. And now that Team 1 has air control, they're going to throw those restorers at anything and everything. Yeah, they're going after Loki directly. A lot of them are damaged, though, due to flak nearby. And I don't think these restorers will break the shields as much as they probably wanted to. Of course, they notice that's where the Novak satellite is. The pings go down to the east, of course, for the nuke. Team 1 is not prepared. I mean, this would probably be the best bet for taking out Team 1's front left side. We have some SMD back here. This one has been loaded to protect the center and the rear in the east. There is not, there's not one online for for Luker, so that is, there's one back here. And it was just online, though, no shield. Shield is coming online, so 2 megas inbound, says Manfit. Of course, there is 2 fat boys in the middle with RASCOM support. There's a couple of chickens as well. So Team 2 does have some sort of defense online. Switch to T3 Arty and defend mass instead of donating, says Manfit. I do agree with that, trying to, you know, stave off the incoming threat, of course, with T3 artillery. Once you build it, you don't have to really worry about it anymore. You just set it to fire whatever target you want. I feel like if Team 2 wants to cripple Team 1, go after Luker. You know, he had that strat snipe. He's building more strats as we speak for another potential snipe. The Novak's going after mass in the east. Would severely eliminate all of that. And he has no SMD, at least loaded at least. And, what's that? What's that range on that SMD, I feel like? Because that could be... there is a path to take out Luker. You have to target his comm directly. Themo points out building another... okay, you're building a strategic missile launcher. It's good play. You don't have an SMD. So might need that. especially with that the nuke exists. Team 2 hasn't launched it yet. It is loaded. You know, every second that passes is a second you're missing an opportunity to take somebody out, specifically Luca or Themo. 3 Fat Boys versus a Crab and a Fat Boy. Really only going to go one way. That chicken tries to rush forward, doesn't get a whole lot. There is 2 more crabs coming in. This would be a nice nuke here in the middle. There's also a bunch of these gunships, the broadswords. So both teams going for mass gunship rush / forces. Unfortunately, the broadswords don't have a good AA. They are better for air to ground versus air to air. Of course, we have engineers on station to deal with all the reclaim. Of course, Team 2 is 175 to 125. It's not bad. A couple of bombers, not going to do a whole lot. Trying to go after that eastern Fat Boy. I think Loki's having some power. Oh, he is severely negative on power. He needs to fix that issue. Nuke is launched. It's going after Themo. Kind of figured it'd be one or the other. He could have taken out Luker, but that SMD might have loaded in. No, it wouldn't have loaded in time. Barely, though. But Themo knew he was out of there. It shouldn't have built that missile launcher. Should have saved his mass. Trying to spam up some Ravagers for defense. Restorers on the west side being attacked by ASF here from Team 2 Solid Snake. Does look like Team 2 will get the better end of the deal there. There it goes. The engineers flock out of the way. Kaboom. Takes out almost all those engineers. The whole base for Themo. He has just been wrecked this game. Low-key, there are strats in the north here for Luker. They actually move out of the way just in case. And in the east, of course, more more SAM sites, more T3AA is being built. Of course, they would have loved to take out that air grid, which still hasn't completely finished, by the way. Some of them are still weakened, and one of them hasn't even been rebuilt. It does look like there is a more emphasis on building the nuke for Solid Snake. It is 39 minutes in this game. Please hit that like button if you've been enjoying it so far. 3 Fat Boys in the middle here for Team 2's low-key. And that artillery and Ravager base is gonna hurt. And engineers trying to reclaim what they can. Engineers are gonna die. Get some sort of mass out of it, but multiple experimentals on that front line, very hard to deal with. Strap bombers might just be the call here, but Team 1's Luker doesn't want to waste those. Satellite targets here for Loki. To go after looks like T3 power generators assisting shields and some mass fabs. Looks like they're on station there. Of course, they'll notice the strap bombers. The strap bombers are given the call. Pings go down for the strap bombs. They go, hey, there's a thing incoming. There's a lot of shields in this army here. The strap bombers are going straight for those actually, they're stopping short, going straight for that crab first. They'll peel off, take out that crab, then they'll probably go back to home base, turn back around and go back for those Fat Boys. We have a bunch of restorers to the east. They're going to go after some T2 Mechs, but that's really about it. ASFs are going to be used as the main force, the gunships used as the main force to draw out the ASFs for Team 1. Of course, he's focused a little bit more on gunship production, which means he doesn't have a lot of ASFs, which means it kind of means that Team 2 has the advantage here. Those strap bombers, it'd be very dangerous to throw them at those Fat Boys, but he has to do something because he's going to start suffering here sooner rather than later. A push here to the south here by Team 2's low-key. We have another push here to the west here by Kavga. They are pushing on all sides, either in the air or on the ground. This is the T1 sub hanging out in the corner there. But the crab does not care. It's going to go straight for those Fat Boys. There are 2 more crabs inbound here. Fire, fire, until you see the white of their eyes. Here they come. They are inbound, and they are not happy about this. Those crabs are very, very mean. They hurt. They pinch you. They do a lot of damage. A lot of flak here and a lot of shields. Not a lot of offensive firepower. The Fat Boys are the only offensive firepower. One crab sacrifices itself for its 2 brethren, and those Fat Boys are going to go down. Cruiser, says Themo. Yep, making a comment. Those Fat Boys, not Fat Boys, those strap bombers are going to suffer. Looks like there is a T4 Novak Center constructed here by Baragi, but that That chicken is nearby. One of them has been felled. Those strat bombers need to go after this before it gets closer, and it's going straight for that satellite station. Shield comes back online. Another shield online. Chicken does die. That satellite will be okay for now. Guess we lost air for a bit. Yes, they did, but they took out all of those FAF boys. They've conquered the middle of the map for now. Lots of mass currently still on the map here for both teams to scoop up. What do we got so far? 345,000 mass here at 42 minutes, folks. There is a lot of mass. T3 Percy's trying to do what they can. Take out either some sort of infrastructure, but there's not really a whole lot to go after in this middle between these two main bases. Of course, with that crab nearby, it doesn't really help. We have bricks on station to deal with engineers trying to reclaim for their families. We still have a quad station of mechs. You can use 2 satellites against T2 shields out, not T3. So it looks like those satellites being a little bit ineffective, of course. More strap bombs need to keep moving to not get lasered by those satellites, of course. Luker is essentially in the driver's seat for his team. ASFs need to fall back. There's a lot of AA here. If Team 1 wants to win this, it will probably have to be with artillery or nukes. Team 2 does have 1 nuke loaded. Everywhere else should be protected by SMD or covered by another SMD. Yep, there's multiple of them loaded. Those are going to be the main targets, of course. I feel like Luker should have a backup in his base just in case, but, you know, that does cost massive energy and whatnot, plus the mass FAF farm up there. More SAMs, says Manfet. Over here to the east. Yeah, it doesn't want any incursion to the east. We have a couple of gunships over here. Oh, there's an Omni. There's one right there. They're going to see that. Enemy has satellite too. Yep, notice that. That amount of AA is gonna hurt. Oh, and there they go. The death of some, well, a lot of gunships. There they go, and there they go. Yep. That attack really was only going to work once here, and it was used against the player, and it worked. So, you know, take the losses. Team 2, just based on the map, has the better situation for defenses. Still has a lot of its infrastructure. PDs on the east, I'm assuming, for Manfet. Yep. The crab, and monkey. It would be better to have the monkey go in the water and then pop out on this eastern side. Yeah, you lose some of the firepower, but it's better used at close range. Couple of PD. Of course, the crabs could take out a lot of those PD. The bricks don't have to charge in initially. Team 1 bringing out those engineers to scoop up all that reclaim. Still has a couple of Optims and whatnot to deal with over here to the west. But they're situated with a lot of these Megaliths. Team 1 not opting to use the Colossus, Aeon, of course, experimental, that are very, very popular. They're very, not OP, they're just, the Succoms, they're just very good. My dog barking in the background about something. Probably somebody at the door. Of course, we have some Rascoms being killed off by those crabs. We do have a crab and 2 chickens. Wow, that dog is really going at it, jeez. We have 1, 2, 3 crabs and 2 chickens. Team 1 needs to deal with this. Man, what is going on over there? I do apologize for the noise. Must be very upset today. Probably didn't have his vitamins or his daily dose of something. He didn't have his daily dose of FAF. That's probably what it was. But Monkey Lord in the water does get pinged, so Team 2 is aware of it. But that push gets severely annihilated here. Of course, 3 crabs and 2 chickens. Team 1 needs some sort of defenses. I feel T1 bombers are going to be spammed here pretty soon. ASFs, of course, are covering those crabs and chickens. A large investment. Dumped some mass on their doorstep. 2 more experimentals in the rear. 4 crabs and 3 chickens. Jeez, that's a lot of mass. Has Team 2 done anything else in terms of... Well, we see a Duke that's almost done. And we see a Duke that has been completed just right now. And another one going to be constructed here soon. So Team 2 has T3 artillery technology or infrastructure currently online. Team 1 needs to get into that sort of game. They did build a Colossus. Good to see that. Must have talked about it through the ether or something and they heard me. They're going after the air grid in the rear for Kabanoff. That's probably the best bet. Strat spamming, says Manfet. I don't see that being the case. Strat bombers are called forth to go after a chicken. Chicken almost dies. The ASFs for Team 1's Kabanoff are just standing there. Or floating there. Don't land. There they go. And a lot of those ASFs for Team 2 have actually been taken out, which is kind of weird. Maybe there was some gunships that I didn't notice that were in that mix. So it's essentially it's a net loss for both players, but the mass does land on Team 2's doorstep. Of course, that's good for Team 2 and not good for Team 1. We have some Nothas going after something. Is there a Pigeon that's not under shield coverage? No idea. Couple. Oh, we didn't even see this army of Perseus to the south, and they're going after a lot of engineers that have been building up. Lots of flak in this mix as well, trying to counter the gunship heavy air forces that Team 1 has been so favoring. Nearly unprotected energy. Nearly had this Nick barely unprotected. Let's get the right angle. Looks like one Pigeon has been destroyed, but it was probably a reclaim order to prevent volatile explosions. Where, says Luker? What are you talking about? What? You don't have a nuke, unless you have some sort of like game ender that I don't notice. I don't know what. Novak's to the west here, being built by Baraji himself. Still think I'm not saying his name right. Essentially, Team 1 is reacting to whatever Team 2 is doing. Themo mentions artillery. Yep. That thing is not going to puncture those shields. You need to take out the mass in the rear. It's better than nothing. Lots of Pigeons also that can be taken out. Second artillery built to the east. T3 UEF, please, says Themo. Don't see any effort for Navy. We do see a Havatham. Sorry, not Havatham, a Hathum. Nuke launches here for Team 2 going after this position. The SMD was not loaded. Looks like it was taken out maybe, but it was barely been loaded. That nuke will be denied. Very sadly here for Team 2. Where are those ASF going? They're just going to go straight for... This is not a good idea. I don't know what Kavanaugh is doing. Maybe it's a misclick? I don't know. But way less shield, says Manfit. I still don't know what's going on with those ASFs. I think that could have been a misclick. And those ASFs are going to get beat up by the ASFs from Team 2's Solid Snake. And all washer almost completed. That's going to hurt Team 1. Look at those ASFs just nibbling at the tootsies of Team 1's Kavanaugh Air Forces. But that has got to... it's got to hurt. That could have been... I don't know what that was. That could have been a misclick. I just feel it's really weird. You just launch them all forward and turn around and launch them all the way back. Artie, says Loki. Yep, there is an emissary starting to be built here. The Artie will focus this position now. There is a patron SMD be targeted by somebody. He power stalled when the SATs switched targets. Oh, look, yeah, it looks like some of the shields were taken out. That's going to hurt. A couple of the air facilities have been destroyed. Isn't a huge issue, but of course has the rear facility still taking some hits. Team 1 is just struggling to hold on. We have... Oh, wow, look at this. The March of the Crabs. Here they come. We see some all-washer bombers in the rear, in the background there. March of the Crabs. And chickens. Can't forget the chicken. And there's an odd Monkey Lord, I think, in there. Yep, over there. The all-washer... Nope, that's the... That is the all-washer. That's the satellite. Where'd that all-washer go? Did it land? I don't. It went after the emissary that's being built. Do not see. Down, says Loki. Yep, the SMD is down. There is secondary coverage, though. And there is coverage to the west as well, so it might overlap enough to protect that base. Maybe they can edge nuke it out. But, wow, those chickens were annihilated. The Crabs retreat. Unfortunately, they have the numbers, which I don't know why they would retreat, but they don't want to drop mass, I'm assuming. Don't know what's going on with the... Oh, there is a Galactic Colossus down here, but there's a lot of Ravager fire. There's a Fat Boy nearby. There's just a T2 transport shooting at it as well. Target everything on Luker and hope it gets through. There's Manfit. I mean, let's see how many... Oh, the SMD is down. So Luker is defenseless. There's the all-washer. It's back here. 50 minutes in this game. Looks like we're going to have some nukage going on. Only one is loaded. And right now, if they fire, they can kill Luker. Is there any on board these Hathums? No. And it's not looking good here for Team 1. very been picked apart. They've, Themo suffered early on. This central position will die. That SMD is definitely not in range. Oh, that is the wrong player. Yep, definitely not in range. That's gotta hurt. And I think once that central position falls, it's going to be the beginning of the end. More crabs to the east. It's 3 versus 5. Sorry, 2 versus 5. Drop bombers coming in. They're eliminated as they come over. And now it's going to be 5 versus 1 here pretty shortly. Or 4 versus 1 here pretty shortly. Oh, gets a rank of veterancy. Does stave off a couple more hits. There's another crab to the west. Oh no, the red one has appeared. Dun 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 dun. Kaboom! Takes out that position. The crab just finishes and gets out of range. Mostly. Now it's a 2v4 scenario with assisting support in the rear. These crabs are just going at it this game. They have to come out of the water because they're cold, because it's frozen over. Lots of battleships in the water here for Team 2's Solid Snake. Artillery raining in on Luca's position. He's suffering. Lasers over top. He's also suffering more. Crab dies. Fat boy. Monkey Lord is gonna get a kill. Crab gets the credit for that kill, I think. And there he goes. He gets taken out. 3 crabs left standing and a chicken. Team 1 is gonna struggle. And I think at this point, I think I can move it to 2. No, that crab does get taken out. And now it's just a cleansing of the battlefield here. Luca has just suffered as well in the north. Oh, Cascade. That's gotta hurt. A couple more shots into these pigeons, and that position is all but gone. Have a couple of strap bombers still left on standing. Team 1 is going to hold to the bitter end. Chicken coming across the middle, chasing some of those cougars. There's a couple of engineers as well being chased down. Nothing will stand. Nothing will stay alive here for Team 1. Team 1 just didn't make a play for the late game or the end game early enough, but they suffered because of it. Crabs are coming in, wiping the rest of everything off of the board. Luca's position is completely destroyed. He's had to retreat to the T3 air headquarters. Luca is running from that those lasers and those crabs, of course, but that emissary will not finish. Kabanov will die here. There he goes, shot by that crab. We have broadswords coming in, taking out anything and everything. Luca's still being chased. The calm of Beregi does... Oh, actually, that was Themo, excuse me, not Beregi. He control Ks. The explosion from... Let's see, what? Well, I think he just control K'd. I don't think there's anything volatile next to him. And it's now Beregi versus the world. Where is this? Oh, he's over here to the west. He's building a teleporter right now. I'm going to slow down. Actually, I don't need to slow down. Everything is gone. Trying to use that power while he has it. And how's he doing on power? Well, it hurts. It hurts a lot. Those crabs almost know where he is. Well, they see him because of the satellites. Will he get to be able to teleport away? Or will he even finish the teleporter? I don't think so. There he goes. Killed by crabfire. And that is it, folks. Solid Snake wins the game. He was able to put those cardboard boxes over his head, sneak behind, or at least in front of the enemy, and shoot him. Or tranquilize him, depending on what you want to do with the guys that you end up finding. But anyway, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Please like and comment down below what your favorite moment was. Hit the subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Smash the like button. Share. I already said share. Yeah, I said share it with your friends. And in terms of MVP or MUP, most underrated player of the game, I feel like, Themo held out for a very, very long time. Like, he was constantly just shot at, destroyed, punched, stabbed, nuclear explosion. That's essentially what did him in, at least his base. But, he really held strong against, not considerably high, but decently high other rated players. It was 93%. It was pretty well balanced, but Team 2 just kind of won it there. There was a second nuke that was built. It was almost loaded. 1, 2, 3 artillery were built. Nuke didn't have one in the chamber. You gotta fire it. You gotta fire those nukes while you got them. That one play by Luca coming in, taking out Mechs Clicker was great. Unfortunately, they couldn't replicate it again because of all the AA that was built. But you got to do what you got to do. But it was a good game. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, and I will see all of you wonderful people in the next one.